Yes, students, we will go in this video. We'll go to learn React.js. Okay, it is one of the popular front-end technologies. React.js, it is the JavaScript library. It is mainly for single-page application. It is mainly developed for the single-page application. What is a single-page application? Means instead of loading all the pages, it will be bundled. It will be combine all this into a single page and load. So it will be increases the performance point of view, which will be optimized. Okay. And it is a search engine optimization, SEO friendly. Debugging is very easy. You can easily debug fast when it comes to displaying a big amount of components. When there is a lot of big projects, it is very fast compared to other technologies. That is very fast. And React.js is a virtual DOM. Okay, let we can study step by step. Yeah, React.js is also known as React.js or React.js. It is a free to use open source JavaScript library designed for creating the user interface on front end of web application. It's mainly for creating the web applications, front end web applications. Okay. It is a popular due to it is a mainly based on the component architecture, single page applications, virtual DOM for building web application that is fast, efficient, and scalable. Which is a fast, efficient, and scalable. Okay. Yeah, as I told, React.js, it is mainly based on the JSX. Okay, it is mainly based on the JSX and it is a component based. In AngularJS, Angular, it is a controller based, but React.js is not like that. It is entirely based on the component. It is a one-way data binding. It's a one-way data binding. In Angular, it's a two-way data binding, but React it will be support only the one-way data binding. Okay, only the events. Okay, we will not provide any tie with the components. Simplicity in in React.js performance point of view, the React.js is very good. Okay, that's why React.js is the best compared to other. Okay, React.js it is mainly developed by the Facebook by Jordan Walk. He is a Facebook engineer. He invented this. Okay, he's a guy. I will show that. I will show him. He's a Jordan Walk. That guy is a open source component based front end library. React.js is made up of multiple components. It is a combination of multiple. It contains not only a particular component. It is a made up of multiple components. Each component responsible for outputting small. For example, if you are developing a small applications, okay, in dashboard there is a dashboard. Consider there is a dashboard. In the dashboard there will be header, footer, and sideboards. Okay, in the header there will be some icons will be there, and sideboard there will be some menus will be there. Footer, see header we can make it as a one component. Footer we can make it as a one separate component. Sidebar, we can create one more component for the sidebar. For the displaying side dashboard, in between, we can create one component. Okay, all these component we can be placed together and create a one single page application. That is the use of React.js. We will go to learn in future. Okay. Let's in this React.js there are two different types of component, that is class component and functional component. In the React.js there are two types of components, like it is React.js is entirely based on component JS, right? Component based, right? In that component there are two types. One is class component and the another is functional component. What is this class component? Class component means we can also call it as a stateful component. We can also class component, we can also call it as a stateful component. But functional component, we will not call it as a stateful, it is a stateless component. I will explain why it is called as a stateful component, why it is called as a stateless component. Just think there are two types of component in React.js. One is class component, the another is functional component. In class component, we can perform manipulation kind of things. All the perform, we can create a state variables, or we can create in Java or other programming language. In the same way, we can create a variable, but we can call it as a state variable to managing the state. Okay, in the class component. But in functional component, we are not using state variable. We are not creating, we are not manipulating in functional component. Okay, it will return the UI, user interface, HTML contents in the functional component. But class component is not like that. It has a variable. We can manipulate that values of the state variables, and also it contains the render function, which contain the render function. See types of component, the functional component, the one more is class component. Okay, this is the example how the functional component will be look and how the class component will be look. Functional component means how similar, it's similar like a JavaScript function. How you will write a JavaScript function keyword. It is a keyword function for creating the function. Name of the function is welcome. In this functional component, what we are doing, we will return only the UI or user interface, UI or HTML. Okay, we will not do any manipulation. That's why it is called as a stateless component. But class component, it's not like that. It's a similar like how we can create a class in Java or C++. Class name means class name you can also call it as a component name, which extend react.component. Extend means what is this in Java inheritance. Means react.component is the parent component for all the components of the class component. For all the class component, which is the parent component means react.component. So inside the class component, there is a method called render. There is a method called render. What it will do? Render method, it will display the UI. Whatever the HTML there, it will display that. Inside the render, we are returning h1 allow. So it will return that. Okay. Got it right? We can create a simple component, functional component as well as a class component. How we can set up the project in this next video.